Are you struggling to sell wall art? Is it difficult to get your client to commit to anything and they need to go away and think about it? If so, this video is for you. I'm going to go through the method that we use that gets our clients coming in, asking and sometimes begging for bigger, better quality pieces of wall art. My name is Mark Bailey. I own a photography studio that I've had for over 15 years. And if you're interested in the business side of photography and the sales side, then definitely give us a like and a subscribe. This channel is definitely for you. So today I'm going to go through the method that we use, that's used on all of us every single day by bigger and larger companies that are already out there advertising to you. Visualization. The theory behind it is if you can get your client to see the end point, it adds so much more value. It also breaks down a lot of barriers and a lot of brick walls that you might face at the very end stage, which is the sales stage and the asking for the financial commitment. So where do we see this being used on us? My best example that I can think of is the holiday market. Let's face it, if we're going to go on holiday, the cheapest way to do it is probably go find one company that is selling the flights really cheap. Then you want to go find another company that will do your airport transfers for cheaper than what you would get included in a package holiday. And then you go find your own accommodation as well. You do it like that, it does work out cheaper, but there is a hassle involved with that. You've got to make sure that each individual item is not going to be a scam, that everything is all in time and sync. It's a bit more of a headache. That's something to keep note of because we can utilize that when it comes to our sales part. Now, that's one way that you could get a holiday. If you think of companies, say like Jet2, the way that they do their adverts, they don't advertise going, oh, we can give you a flight, we can give you accommodation, and we'll even throw in the airport transfer. What they will do is focus on the actual experience, the end point. Why are you booking this holiday? You're not booking it because you want to get the cheapest options. You're booking it because you want to experience time away from life, time together as a family reconnecting. And so look at their adverts at the moment, and they've used this for a couple of years now. It's all first person, it's all POV. The whole advert is set up so it's just one hand being held out and being pulled along either by the child or by their partner. And they're being pulled off the flight, they're being pulled into the accommodation and they're running onto a beach and all the way through, the hands being held all the way through. And the idea is that this is what you want. This is what we're selling. We're not selling flights. We're not selling accommodation. We're selling this experience. This is the end point. This is what you're after. Everything else just gets you there. So we can utilize that. And for us, if you think about it with your clients when they're coming in to see you, yes, they want to book a photo shoot with you, but there's a reason why they want to do that. It's because they want to get wall art up on the walls or maybe an album. Now, the thing is, with your clients, they're probably the same as me and you. We've probably got a million projects in the back of our mind that we want to do in the house. We see another picture and, oh, I quite like that in that room. I'm going to save that picture and I'll do that at some point. Oh, the garage needs doing, so I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do in there. Maybe look at new shelving and I'll do that at another point. Oh, I need the kitchen sorted. I need that doing. And we get this never-ending snag list that we always want to try and do and improve. Now, because of that, when your client comes to see you, they've probably got an idea that I want some pictures here on this wall, but I also want something here and I've seen this. So it's hard for them to get a commitment on what they're going to do next. But the thing is they've taken a step and they've got in touch with you and they want to book that photo shoot. Now, what you may be finding is that a lot of people come in, they're not buying the wall art, they're going straight for digitals for you. And that's difficult because they don't put the full value on the digital because they don't understand that there's copyright involved and they've got printing rights with it that they can use. And so it's harder to put the value on that. There are ways to do that and we can cover that in another video. But for us, we want to get them to think more about that end point. Just like with the Jet2 holiday adverts, they're trying to sell you that end point, the experience, the time you're going to have with the family. So let's do the same thing for us. Now, if we break this down, if I ask a client outright, so what are you thinking of doing with your pictures? They're probably going to say the exact same thing they say to you. Oh, I don't know yet, or we haven't thought about it, or do you know what, we've got so much going on at the moment, that's why we just want the digitals. So what I want to do is I want to nurture them and get them to a point where they commit to a room where these pictures are going to go. If I can do that, I plant this little seed. And once I plant that little seed, that will grow. And if I can do it on the phone call, by the time they come in for the shoot, they already have an idea of what's going on the wall, which room, which wall, and they're already buying it. And when you're in the shoot, they're already asking those questions. So can I get this? That's just on the wall there. And how much is that? And they're already asking all the buying questions, which is fantastic. So how do we get them to go from saying, I don't know yet, we haven't thought about it, to going, oh yes, it's above the sofa in the living room? The way that we would do that in our studio is that we would use what we call layering questions. So I'm going to ask a question that I don't want them to answer just yet. I'm going to, before they can answer, I'm going to ask another question that's layered on top. And then I'm going to ask another layer on top of that one, which is going to be a multiple choice, so I can control the type of question or answer I'm going to get back from them. So let's think about it. If I say to them, so what are you thinking of doing with your pictures? Do you know where they're going to go? It's too open-ended. They can go, I don't know, we're thinking about it, or we've got a few rooms, or we're moving house. It's too open-ended. They can give you anything. So I don't want the answer to that one. What I want to do is find out what room they spend the most time together as a family. Now that sounds a little bit like a sales question, and that will raise, well, why are you asking me that? What's that got to do with anything? So again, I don't want an answer to that one. What I do want an answer to is my top layered question, which will be, give me the room, one of three rooms, the living room, kitchen, dining room. There are other rooms in the house that you may need to focus on. Say you're doing boudoir photography, the bedroom would be one of them, definitely. You could also bring up nursery for baby photography, but I find that so long as you give them three choices and no more, you get a nice easy answer back. The more choice you give a client, the more deciding factors that are going to get in the way, and it just restricts your sale. So let's put this into practice. How do I layer these questions to get them to commit to a room? So here we go. Have you thought about what you're going to do with your pictures? Do you know what room they're going to go in? Most people will put them in a room that they spend the most time together as a family. So where's that for you guys? Is that the living room, the kitchen, the dining room? That's my question. So if I go through it one more time, and I'll go through and point out each question mark. So what are you thinking of doing with your pictures? Do you know where they're going to go yet? Most people will put them in a room that they spend the most time together as a family. Where's that for you? Is that the living room, kitchen, dining room? That's my question, my third question. Now my client is going to give me one of those. They don't need to think about what room they spend the most time together as a family, and do they? It may be a case of that they don't. Somebody's always in the kitchen, someone's in the living room, someone's in the bedroom. So it might be a case of that, no, we're coming for this shoot because we need to do something together as a family. So now I've changed it so that the answer they're going to give me is living room, kitchen, dining room. In this example, let's assume they choose the living room. Fantastic. And have we thought about where that's going to go? Is that going to be above the fireplace, or is that going to be above the sofa? Fantastic. Great. And then I will carry on my conversation. That's all I'm going to do. The idea is to plant that little seed. Now, I don't even need to get all of this right. Let's say I mess this up and I go, so where are you thinking of putting these? And they go, oh, I don't know. And I go, I didn't layer my question. It's okay. We can do what's called a rewind, and we can ask the question again in a couple of seconds, or we could just ask the next bit. So the idea is to just get them to think about one room. If we get them to think about a wall as well, and get them to anchor that product on the wall, then what will happen between the phone call and the photo shoot, every time they walk in that room or walk past that wall, subconsciously something's missing, and it's going to be your wall art. And that will just keep growing. So when the client does come in to see you, they've already bought something in their heads. Now, they might not know what it looks like. They just come in, and you should have your studio set up like we do, so that we have a nice two-seater sofa, and right above that is a nice big 5-frame collection. We also have a sideboard where we have a lot of our baby props. Above that is a nice big canvas collection. We also have a radiator on one wall with a cover on it. Looks very nice. Above that is a nice big inch by 40 inch piece of wall art. We've got everything set up, so when the client comes in, we're already set up to sell them what we want to sell. And the client in their mindset will have already anchored a product, come in, they'll see a setup that's like, oh, that's just like our living room. That looks great above it. That's clearly what I want. And it works brilliantly. We don't have to do anything else. Now, you should make notes on this. So when the client comes in, you can continue this conversation throughout the photo shoot, just nice and naturally. You don't want it to come out salesy. So I'll do a video on how we do the conversation during a photo shoot to be able to bring stuff up like this so that you can just throw it. So, oh, that's what you were thinking, wasn't it? Something above the sofa. So is that what you're thinking, something like this? Or are you thinking something bigger? And they will tend to go something like that. I'd never turn around and say, oh, are you thinking of something like this or something smaller? Because clients will tend to go, oh, actually, no, something smaller. So if I go bigger, the worst that happens is they go, yeah, something bigger. If they go, neither one of them wants something smaller, not a problem, I've got this over here. So the idea with all of this is visualization is that you start to practice this and start to implement it. Learn how to layer questions, and I'll do a video next on layering questions. It's very easy to do. If you can do this and get this right, or not even get it right, just start to do it. You will start to see an uptake on frames being sold in your studio if that's what you want to sell. Now, for me, framing is really good. That's the end point for the client. For me, when somebody buys digitals from us, I personally see it as though we haven't finished our job, because the client is not buying these digitals off me at the prices I charge so they can just whack them on social media or so they can just look at them on a phone. They have another intention to take these away and go and get them printed, get them framed, and get them up on the wall. Now, if we then think back to the holiday and Jet2 and the other options you've got, you can go away and you can go book your flight for cheaper by itself. You can go book your transfer by itself and that'll be cheaper. And you can go book your accommodation by yourself and that will be cheaper all over. That's a hassle. That's a nuisance. It's a lot easier, a lot cheaper, and it will work brilliantly and smoothly if you just let Jet2 or whoever sell you a package holiday. There is a charge, a premium for it, but it will make your life easier. We can do the same thing. So when a client wants to just go for digitals, but they know where it's going to go, we will educate them. It's not a hard sell. I don't need to do hard selling, because if I get all of this right, the client will want to buy. So for me, I will just explain to the client, listen, I know you're going for digitals, but think about where this is going to go. Sometimes it can work out cheaper to just go for the wall art, to go above the sofa where you were talking about. This way, if anything's wrong with the frame or anything like that, it's on us and we can get it fixed for you. All you've got to do, rather than going around trying to find a printers, trying to find a framers, go pick them all up and hope that they're the right size, then you've got to go and get them on the wall. All you've got to do is, if you order it through us, we'll deal with everything else. You just come back, pick it up, nail in the wall, frame goes up, you're done. How easy does that sound? And on top of that, you might not need the digitals at this stage and we just go for this. Now, there is a bit where you might be stopping here thinking, well, why would I not want to just do digitals? That's nice and easy. If that's what you want to do, that's fantastic. But I can charge more for wall art than digitals. The clients are getting a physical product at this point. And so because of the way that we are and the way we shop, we find it easier to justify a bigger spend for something physical that we can see and it's tangible and it's in our hands. So for me, I have my digitals price, and then I also have my wall art price, which is up here, and that's where I want to go. On top of that, there's less chance of buyer's remorse if they've gone for something physical that's on the wall and they can see it and enjoy it. These are also going to be heirlooms and they're probably going to pass them down. They're going to be there forever. So I'd much prefer to sell wall art because I know my clients are going to be happier. And that's something definitely for you guys to be thinking about as well. I hope you found this useful. My next video that I'll do will be on how to layer the question properly. If you are finding this useful, please give me a like and subscribe, give me a comment and stuff like that. That'd be fantastic. Hope everybody has a great day today, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.